Jackson's the guy who makes things happen. And will he throw his body around? Kevin Garnett, Ben made a miss there with a hand in his face. Rip with a stop and go and a collision in the lane. And the call's going to go Rip's way. It's Trenton Hassel's second. Hey, for all your Piston radio broadcasts, go to Sports Radio 1130 WDFN. Well, there you see it. Rasheed Wallace is off the bench and about to check in the Motor City. And the fans are letting them know how they feel.
When's the last time Rasheed Wallace had a standing ovation from 20,000 people? He's got to love this, yeah.
Rasheed's on the floor. Joe Dumars has to love this. He and John Hammond and all the basketball people work so hard to make this happen. 3 and 18 to play in the first. Tayshaun working the wing against Sprewell. Rasheed Wallace with a screen. Gets it back. He's open. He fires. He fills it up. Rasheed's first hoop in the Motor City.
A whole lot of pressure just fell off his shoulder. Getting that shot to go down, he can relax now. It's a normal game for him.
16 all. Pistons in Minnesota. Rasheed helping Chauncey with the trap on Cassell. They'll go to Garnett with it. Now Sprewell. Now Serbiak. And he sticks the three. That's what can happen to you when you double against the Timberwolves.
They've got so many weapons. I mean, who are you going to leave out there? Maybe Matson, but certainly no one else.
19-16. Timberwolves just over 2.5 to play in the first. Pick and roll. Rip and Rasheed. Rasheed matched up against Garnett. Great matchup again. He'll fire it. Fill it up again.
Go ahead, boy. Go ahead.
A miss and then 2 quick makes for Rasheed Wallace. Pistons are within 1. Cassell's dish inside too high and hot for Manson. Out of bounds. Look at a timeout. 2 and 10 to play here in the first at the Palace. Rasheed Wallace in a Piston uniform and doing some damage to the Timberwolves. This is the Pistons Television Network. Rasheed Wallace now in town, and I'll tell you what, Piston stars Chauncey Billups and Ben Wallace are sure enough happy to have him here, even though they think it'll take just a little bit of time for him to really get acclimated.
You got to take a little time to, let Rasheed, for us to kind of learn, his game and him to, learn, to fit in our game and how we play. And, but, he's a great player, man. He's one of the great ones, and hopefully it doesn't take too long.
We know sometimes in the heat of the battle, guys get excited. Guys go through different type of emotions on the floor. In the past, Rasheed, been, one to fly off the handle, so to speak, but, we won't hold that against him. We just want him to come in here and play his game.
Come on in here and play his game. That's what they'd love to have happen. An all-star in 2000 and 2001. The last 3 years before this one, he averaged 19 plus, and 18 plus. He is a 500 career shooter. Has certainly worked his way to the NBA through France and the CBA, and went from Miami to Boston and now to the Pistons. Our .com poll question: where should Rasheed start? Center or small forward? Log on to Pistons.com, cast your vote. We'll have the results in the second half.
I'll say small forward. I've always envisioned Ben Wallace having 2 solid scoring forwards, or big men, I should say, on each side, and now we get a chance to see how that'll work out.
Okay, the questions were small forward and power forward. Assuming Ben is your center, that's how the question leads the Pistons 34-28. Rasheed Wallace in uniform. He's already been on the floor. And what a buzz there is in this building because Rasheed's here. And he's as excited as anybody. He feels like this is a great chance for a new start.
A chance to go ahead and continue playing in the playoffs. and just thinking about each one of my teammates, you know, as far as the abilities and things that they can do, and just how I can try to mold and fit into all of that, and just, you know, become that one good unit. You know, they're already a good ball club, even without me. Their record proves itself, and it's been proving itself over the last few years. So, you know, I'm just glad to be here, play with a you know, a great group of guys.
There's Rasheed. And he is indeed happy to be here. Thomas Hearns wouldn't have missed this one. The hitman was in his seat before the opening tip. And now we've received word, and I'll have to make sure that it's official, that maybe Rasheed Wallace and Mike James cannot play in the second half. The trade may not have been officially completed with all the physicals and so forth, although Boston was indicating earlier we felt that Chucky Atkins had passed his physical, and it seemed to me that was the last one. Rasheed Wallace apparently not eligible to play here in the second half, along with the other guy obtained in the trade, Mike James. But be that as it may, this is a guy that the Pistons, including Larry Brown, have great respect for.
I told him when we met today, you know, and I talked to Mo this summer. He's in the top 5 players in this league, in my mind, in all the things that he brings. And I'm confident if we can adjust quickly, we're capable of beating any team on any given night. But there's also some teams out there that I think we all have great respect for.
When he talks about Mo, he means Mo Cheeks, who earlier this year, of course, had Rasheed Wallace in Portland. And Rasheed and Mike James have come here. Chucky Atkins and Lindsey Hunter went to Boston. Bobby Sura to Atlanta with Jellicoe Rebraca. Chris Mills from Boston to Atlanta. And both the Celtics and the Hawks got first-round draft choices. This year, Rasheed averaging 17-1 and 6-6. But remember, 3 years leading up to this, he averaged 19 and change, 19 and change, and 18 and change. And he would still be the first Piston since Grant Hill to average better than 17 and better than 6 boards.